Hey now, and welcome down to KC Toy Reviews. We're here today with Raider Jones by Present Toys, aka Harrison Ford's Indiana Jones. Now, unfortunately, well, this one's a mixed bag of crap. And if you want to find out why, let's clap our hands together and dive right the hell goddamn in. Alright, so as I mentioned at the start of my super aggressive intro, which, well, I semi-apologize for, I guess I'm just a little irritated. I just got this thing out of the box, as I mention all the time, 30, 45 minutes ago. My first reaction was it's a piece of crap. Everybody in the groups, as always, raving about this thing. This is, again, another one of those prime examples. Everybody's raving about the Indiana Jones, so much so that I bought it. I didn't even want this thing. But I saw everybody raving about the Indiana Jones. It looks so good. The pictures, absolutely. Even in front of us right now, it does not look that bad. Quality control, it's just a mixed bag on this thing. There are some, oddly to say, fantastic parts to this figure. Quality knocks it out of the park in some parts. And there's some other parts where it's just a flat-out piece of crap. So for starters, once I got this coat on, articulation just went down the tubes. I mean, it went so far down the tubes, he's basically stuck in this position like a rock man. This arm here, I mean, it goes up to about, it's almost like right here. I'm starting to really stretch this arm to go past this point. That's about as far as we can get that arm there to go up, right? Right about there. Got that arm to go not past much past this point, right? So it can't get much past this point, which is insane, right? Look at, you tell me I can't get this up from here? That's it. And then the bend at the side, you can see this gap. I couldn't close the gap. So I was like, trying to push down there. That's it. So he's stuck in this, I don't know, dare I call it mafia thug type mode or something like this with his arm to his side. So the articulation on the arms were god awful. I had a little bit better time on this side, but man, I just one of the worst. I don't even know what the hell's going on with this arm. Either mine's broken or this is just the biggest piece of crap articulation ever on a 1/6. Well, I guess next to the original Arkham Batman, the rubber suit one, whew, that was bad. That was one of the worst I've ever seen in my life. There's just something about the collar and the way it sits around this guy that I don't know. It's just either slightly off proportion, but it's just hugging his neck horribly and his chin and the way it rests around here. I think partially the way I had to getting the jacket on, no pun intended, to jack the jacket on was really, I don't know, a mixed bag too. I'm not going to say it was difficult because some people probably say, oh, it was so easy for me. As I pulled the jacket on, it was very hard to keep this down properly, so it jacked this shirt up a little bit, and because of that, I think that's why it sits near his neck. I tried my hardest to just from here and here kind of yank it back down or push it through, down through here, but I might be crazy and everybody thinking I'm going to be anal saying it right now, but again, maybe through lens it looks okay, but in person, this collar is just way too big and sits oddly around his neck. And then if you kind of mess with it, you're exposing this giraffe neck area underneath here. So there's Giraffe Neck Jones over here. So Giraffe Neck Jones is just, I don't know, unless you cover it up, he's going to be Giraffe Neck Jones. You really got to cover that up there. So now, if we put that awful articulation aside, Giraffe Neck Jones, some of those pieces here, he did come with a branded stand. I mean, should I say third-party branded stand? It says Jones on it. We have a little map and stuff there. It had some bubbles in mine, so if you watch my unboxing video, as soon as I pulled it out, it had a ton of bubbles throughout it. So, again, another quality control issue there. I shouldn't complain too much because I am notorious for bitching and moaning about not including a 1/6 stand, and these guys did give us a stand, so I'm excited that we have a stand. We have a nice little branding on the bottom. Overall, I think it does look pretty good. Just wish mine didn't come with the big, atrocious bubbles all over it. And then past the bubble stand, we do have these shoes. Now, the shoes are fantastic quality. Now, here's something you don't see every day. I'm calling this thing a piece of crap, but these are probably the nicest 1/6 shoes I have seen in a long time. They're actually laced up a little bit, and then I don't know what we're going to call this rim edge thing around here, but there is a slight little yarn or something, woven through here. And then, dare I say, faux leather material on the shoes with a sole that's pushed up against the bottom of it. So the shoes are like goddamn real. I mean, these shoes are fantastic. The shoes are better than the articulation, if that even makes sense. I guess it just excites me more than the articulation. I was like, wow, these are really nice 1/6 shoes. I mean, I want to wear these shoes. If I could blow these up with some type of I don't know, honey, I blew up the kid situation, yeah, I would take these shoes for sure. They're nice shoes, but in a 1/6 format. I mean, who knew? And of course, as we make our way up from the shoes, we have the pants. Now, no, get your mind out of the gutter. We are not trying to zoom in on his crotch. It's worth noting, he does have a crotch grabber. He doesn't have the waist grabber. He has a crotch grabber, one of the best type of stands in my opinion, unless you're doing dynamic photos and poses. But similar to the shoes, the pants are fantastic. I mean, really nice tailoring. They're nicely proportioned. They fit the legs really well. You move up. I'm too lazy to even go to another shop for it, but we have actually let's see if I can just kind of push it down here. You have a nice belt around his waist with an actual metal buckle on it. So, man, the pants, the little bag here, accessory that he came with, all the tailoring on this stuff here was really fantastic. I mean it. It's just, it lost its weight as soon as you went from the waist up. You have this incredibly baggy undershirt because you've jacked up this leather jacket over it and it's just bunched up this shirt underneath it. And then the leather jacket just destroys articulation. Unless you're going museum pose, I get it through the lens. A couple shots I'm looking at it going, yeah, he looks pretty decent. But man, that articulation and the way his arms and elbows were kind of stuck there, just awful. And to add to the mixed bag of quality, we have this fantastic leather whip. Now, we do have a wire about to here, so you have some dynamic and posability to bend it how you want to here, and then the rest it kind of just lays flat. But this thing looks like it's woven actually all the way through, so just really nice quality on the whip. But just surprised that we have this fantastic tailoring, nice accessories. I mean, while we're at it, the gun, give me this gun. The gun is really nice. Look at this. You have a nice little weathering, rustic look to it, decent paint job, just a really nice gun. Now, the quality on the leather jacket itself, this thing is absolutely going to deteriorate over the next few years, especially dependent on your climate. The other thing is, and maybe it just needs to get worn in, and these are the things that I gripe over, it just looks too big from the back. They should have fit it better or added a wire so I can squeeze it around his waist. I mean, he looks like the penguin from the back here. It looks really oddly out of proportion from behind this guy. So just another point that I'm saying, hey, you have this amazing quality jacket on him, yet the way it's tailored and proportioned on him is slightly off. Now, the odd part to that is the pants and the shoes were perfectly tailored, perfectly proportioned. I think that they were fantastically done. So it's just, I don't know, like I said right in the beginning, this is just one mixed bag of crap. Now, as far as the head sculpt, I do think it's pretty good. Of course, this is one of two. See if I can get the other one in shot at the same time here. It's kind of funny. Based off the way it looks, almost like he's creeping up behind him here, like, hey, I'm your creepy older brother. You owe me money. Want to go gambling with me? Hey, you got a beer? Now, the one on the right, I do enjoy. I think it's a good likeness of Harrison Ford, especially in his younger days. And I mean, hell, at the price point, this thing's $150, $160. I think they did a good job. If you were to just look for a Harrison Ford head sculpt, it would probably cost you, $30 to $40 minimum as it is. So it's a decent head sculpt. The fact that we're coming with two of them is cool. It's just, I don't know what's going on here. You know what it is? I know what it is. It's a mix of Beavis and Stifler. So I don't know what the hell they were thinking on this other head sculpt here. Maybe include some more accessories and get rid of this creepy head sculpt. Both the hats are fixed on the head sculpt. I actually like that. I don't know who the hell would want a hat not on him. Unless they went to the next level like maybe Mars Toys Joker, which had a nice material felted hat you could put on them. So if you had a real material hat, maybe that'd be kind of cool. Then you can angle it different ways. So I don't know. I'm eating my own words as I'm thinking about it. But in this case, both the hats are fixed on the head. And then this is the last little accessory that he came with. Everything else I do have in shot. A little notebook type of thing that he came with here. All right. Well, and there we have it. Raider Jones by Present Toys. Now, as I mentioned, this is most certainly a mixed bag of doo-doo. And why is it a mixed bag of doo-doo? Well, because the upper half of this body's articulation is just god-awful. And something about the way that collar sits around his neck, it just pisses me off. As he's spinning right now, it's just pissing me off. Now, when I first pulled this guy out of the box, my impressions were that it felt like a World Box body. Call me crazy, but it was a little bit heavier than your normal Amazon, $20 1/6 body. It had some detail to it. The knees are double jointed. So you can get these fantastic poses with the knees because this nicely tailored cloth pants that are on there and double jointed knees, it gives you the freedom to do whatever the hell you want. Now the top half just have terrible articulation in the arms and the joints all around the top half. He's really stuck in some really limited poses because of that. I'm not sure 100% if it's just because of the leather jacket or if it's a combination of the leather jacket and the body type. But man, articulation on the top half was awful. And then, of course, the head sculpt. Out of the two head sculpts, the one that we're seeing here, I think it's pretty good. Compared to the Hot Toys one, I don't really know what to say. The Hot Toys one, because it's older, they both have kind of their ups and downs. They don't really look like 10 out of 10, but I'm pleasantly surprised with the head sculpt. The other creepy one, I can do without the other creepy one. Let's just get rid of that one. In fact, I do believe it's going to haunt me in my nightmares as it is. And then down to the accessory. The gun was great. The little notebook was cool. I don't know what the hell you're going to do with a little notebook. You could have put some notes or something in there, because they were all blank pages, but you have a cool little notebook. Yeah, the gun was decent. The whip he's holding's awesome. The little satchel that he's holding, great. Yeah, it's just like I said, just a mixed bag of crap on this guy. As he's spinning, he looks cool, but then I look at the way his elbow and his arm is, and it just pisses me off like the collar. So, I don't know, Present Toys. I pray that the mask and some of your upcoming guys, you do something better with the body types, especially on the mask. I pray we have double-jointed elbows and knees on the mask, because that one would piss me off if it had bad articulation. So Present Toys, crossing my fingers you don't screw up going forward on the articulation there. But thanks for including a stand. Mine had bubbles. Hope nobody else had bubbles. And while I'm saying that, before we sign off, I hope nobody else has terrible articulation. Maybe there's just something wrong with the body type on mine, and I have terrible articulation. I hope I'm the only one that suffered and everybody else has fantastic articulation. So, with all that said, I'm sorry. The score on this guy, I've been thinking it the whole time. It's a 6.3 out of 10. Now, with that said, to my fan base, to my subscribers, I do not suggest this. I definitely don't suggest this. There's some things that will probably piss you off. If you're a diehard Indiana Jones fan and you don't want to pay $450 or $550 for the Hot Toys one, that's subpar at that, then yeah, absolutely, for $150, $160, but pretty sure wave 1 of these is already sold out. I heard that they might have a wave 2 coming soon. I don't know. Fix the body. In fact, if that's true, fix the body for wave 2, because the articulation's just complete doo-doo. With all that said, 6.3 out of 10. Indiana Jones, KC Toys, Harrison Ford doesn't care about Star Wars anymore!